Hello everyone, Zellerant here, and for today's video on Umamusume, I thought I'd make a quick video as I seen a post here on Reddit while streaming yesterday on the bot problem within the game, at least as it relates to the clubs, and whether or not it's going to actually be a problem that's going to impact players within the game. As one of the things we've noticed, I mean, if you haven't paid attention, but it's been fairly obvious that the Eden clubs, and there's multiple of them, in the top 10 and top 30 are very obviously botting. But more recently now, a lot of the clubs, or a few of them, are starting to advertise where you can actually get the bot. And so if you actually look in the game, you can actually see this. You actually go in here, you just go into the club menu and the rankings, and you'll see the top ones. Now, it's not all of them. The number 1 Eden one is not. But like you can see on the number 2, they're advertising it there. The number, I don't know if it's, got the number 6 one, they're not. And they have different little names. You have Ender, Endless. They have this one, Bot DL. They're advertising it. And let's see, some of these I think are, now we're starting to get into the more legit ones, the hardcore legit ones, because they're still getting a crap ton of fans. But there's a few of them that are advertising it. Now, the question people I've seen asking, especially newer players who are worried that it could actually hurt the game, is what is the impact of this? And as it does appear that Cygames really isn't going to do much about it, as we haven't really seen any big ban waves on it, and they're fairly obvious. What is the impact? So if we actually go into the rewards you get in the club on a monthly basis, the top 10, 4,500 carats, top 30, 3,600, top 100, 3,150. If you're a hardcore grinder, like very hardcore fans, and you want to get one of those ones, this one's feasible. They're not clogging it so badly that one's feasible. If you're just you play regularly, getting an A+ club, very easy. And ultimately, we can kind of use that as a baseline for those that are playing quite a bit. Easily get into an A+. So you can say the difference is basically an 1,800 carat difference. And when you actually look at how that impacts you, financially wise, if you're willing to spend, ultimately, it's the equivalent of, we could just kind of round it up to the 2,500, 34, $20, it's like 30 bucks. So that's the difference between an A+ and the SS, is basically the equivalent of $30 in carats every month. Now for free to plays, that is a big difference. But if you're grinding at those levels as a free to play, you're having to spend carats, first of all, just to do the amount of runs. To really meet those fan requirements as a tryhard. But where bots can really be a problem, and whether or not they really are going to impact the game, is parent runs. So the clubs, it is a mess. Cygames needs to do something about it. It's not a big enough impact. But when we look at, we go back here in the Reddit post, I mean, no one really discusses it here. It does seem like somebody, they mentioned someone got kicked out of like the group as a whole, and so the clubs that they're kind of leading is the one causing it. They're basically trying to troll Eden right now because they got kicked out or whatever, which seems to be the case. What I've noticed that they're not doing, which would ultimately be the bigger problem, is, and at least I haven't seen it, they are not grinding out very, very strong parents with autos. Which is something I heard, and the JP version was a problem initially, because, as you know, when we will eventually get auto, where we can do auto careers, and that's where we'll start to see parent inflation, meaning the requirements to make a strong ace for champions meetings will start to move up quite a bit, as parents will get better and better over time, especially when you can just have runs going all day when we get auto. And actually, you can see here kind of the obvious bots I had up here. But I'm always looking for new parent borrows or grandparent borrows for building aces / parents, mostly parents. And I will say the best parents that exist, I know most of the people. They're either viewers who are doing heavy parent farming, or some of mine. I have some fairly good grandparents myself as well. At this point, I'm not seeing an inflation at a level that the bots are really a problem in that respect. It does seem to be mostly isolated to fans, which to me is low impact. While it does suck, it is harder to get into that top 10 if you're really a hardcore grinder. Ultimately, it's not that much in terms of carrots that you're losing out. Now, Cygames definitely needs to do something about it, but it's not going to be a problem unless we start seeing them using them as a way to really grind out God tier parents. Now, there's always the chance that they have God tier parents and have, and they're just not sharing them. But when you actually look at them in the game here, we'll go back into the club. You can see at least the ones that they have in their team trials. If we go back to here, club info here, we actually, that's the ranking here. Now I want to see rankings. So if we actually like look at some of the obvious botting ones, their Umas themselves are, like, their borrows are nothing crazy. Like, they are Umas that will get borrows. As you can see, this one's getting borrows. They're clearly botting. They have cards, and if you look at these, but their parents are pretty atrocious. And so they're definitely not botting their parents. So, and you can actually even look at their, if you look at their whole progress as a whole, like, while they're getting the runs in, it's clear and obvious, they're not making anything crazy, to make new parents or grandparents. So they're not causing that inflation that could really become a problem, where you're more, I won't say casual, but you're more people that play often, but are not super tryhards, will get crushed in CMs if we have that parent inflation. I do not see that problem coming into play, and thus, I don't think it's too significant of a problem. So don't let the fact that it's happening, and we don't really see anything happening about it in the background, as people have kind of, I mean, that's the biggest discussion, is why Cygames not doing anything about it. Don't let it impact you in your thoughts on if you're going to actually be able to compete. Club ranking doesn't matter in the sense of Champions meetings, and just keep, if you're going to want to get good parents, grind them yourself. You'll be able to make some good ones. There's starting to be some out there that are pretty solid. I have a pretty decent one. I mean, most of them are front runners, I will say. End closers and late surgers really don't have much out there. It's primarily front parents that are being grinded. Well, at least all the big grinders like myself are doing primarily front ones. And if there are good end closer ones, they're not currently being rented. Like, I have decent end closer ones, but I'm renting out my front runner ones. So you can take advantage, work them on your own. Don't worry about the inflation. You can report them as you can, or make note of it. I would say everybody should send something to Cygames saying this problem exists. It's fairly obvious. I guarantee they know about it. They're just not really doing anything. But until we start seeing them being used to make new parents, it's not going to be a problem. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I thought I'd just make a quick video on it just to kind of alleviate anybody that's worried too much about it. But go ahead and discuss in the comments what your thoughts are on the bots, and let me know. But that'll be pretty much it. And if you like my content, if you could like, comment, subscribe, it really helps. And thanks for watching.